Hey guys, it's KC Jilly. I know it's been a minute. I've been so busy. Hadn't been anything about gardening, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not worried about it at all right now. But I am getting my shop and stuff in order and my equipment. So I'll kind of show you what I'm working on here. So I am going to be building a little cover. I call it a hat, but a top to this thing so I can get out of the sun and weather won't get me and all that kind of stuff. This guy is a new addition to my arsenal, 4052M. I wish it was a heavy duty, but hey, you know what? I got the grapple as part of the package, which was cool. And the county bought this thing, which is actually a Woodmax flail mower, 96H, FM 96H. And we have totally rebuilt this thing and painted it to match our equipment. And I gave it its first test run. We built a little homemade quick hitch too there. Just some DIY hillbillies over here making stuff work. But the one thing that I am running into when I tried it, because I just tried it one time just to see how it sounded, and it was rough, and I think my issue is right here. Of everything we rebuilt, we did not mess with the main shaft itself. And I think those bolts are loose, because I heard some kind of a vibration, a little rough in there. It cut good, and I just did a small area, but those guys right there are my problem. I saw I had to get my buddy in there because this tractor actually has sensors that work, and it could tell I got off my seat and the tractor died. But those washers were doing circles once I got him up in there and I could get back here and take a look. So I got to get, I'm going to get some new bolts. Those are too long, and they put lock washers and all kind of stuff in there trying to space, and I don't like that. So we're going to make it right. I also have to run from up here. This thing came with this part of this grapple package. They've put this little Summit kit on it for this cylinder. It's an electronic solenoid that's operating this hydraulics. Comes down and operates out of this. This is my up and down for raising the loader. But you can see where they've stuck some quick connects up here so they can connect to this grapple. Now what I want to do is back here where those quick connects come to, is come over here and put myself 2 more lines. What I'll have to do is find the right fitting to do it, okay? But imagine just like this, but another one. Instead of it being straight, it'd be like a T or elbow or something here, you know? So I not only have this, but right here I also have like a quick connect coming out and another one off of this, okay? And what I want to do is make it where I can just plug my hoses, my hydraulic hoses, just like that is, okay? So I can plug that in right here, and when I'm not using them, I can unplug them and set them here. So the same thing that's operating the grapple, this little Summit switch, it's not, I don't believe it's John Deere. This looks like the Summit setup with the solenoid, the electric solenoid. And then run my cables or my hydraulic hoses down here underneath to the back over here somewhere where I can put them out of the way. I might use this guy or this bracket or something. We'll figure it out. But then I need to put on my cylinder down here. In the meantime, I've just got them taped off. I had to replace the cylinder with a Tractor Supply one. Then I'm gonna run them to there. That way, that same button, let me go around here so I can show you. The same button that is operating the grapple right now, you can see right there on the joystick, there's gonna be in or out, depending on which way you wanna go, okay? That will, when I'm not using the grapple, I can disconnect it and I can just connect right into this thing, okay? Which this thing, as you can tell, when I raise up my tractor, let me get back here a little bit. When I raise the tractor up, this thing can come on out a little bit. Right now, it's much bigger than the tractor, sticks out a little bit on each side, just barely over here. But probably 18 inches to 2 feet on this side, and it'll slide out further. I have about probably 14 or 15 more inches I can go this way, so you can see in a certain spot that'd be awful handy. But that dude has been rebuilt, everything except for those bolts there. I didn't put the little scraper bar that goes across because I don't care. I think that's stupid. But that dude's been rebuilt. Now this guy needs a hat. So I've got some metal for it inside of the shop. So let's go check it out. Okay, so currently I have most of my pieces fit together here. This is going to be the top. You're looking at the underside that I'll see, and you can tell this is just some 1 inch right here, and this is 1.5, this bigger stuff running down the length of the sides. So it's heavy but not ungodly heavy, and this is probably maybe 1/8 of an inch, something like that, 3/16, something like that. I can't remember what it is. But right here is where the ROPS, or the rollover protection system, the bars up there around the top, they will be right here. So that kind of gives you an idea how it's going to sit. Now I'm making my brackets currently. I chopped in half some 3/8 plate here. I got about a foot on each side, so I'm going to make this guy. I got to clean it up, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch a hole. This is 6 inch. And that stuff is, what was it, 4 inch? So I got like 1 inch on each side, maybe a little bit, maybe a pinch more, I can't remember. But I'm gonna put a hole here and a hole here, basically. And then instead of using U-bolts like they have, we'll see if I can find U-bolts, I'll grab them, and that'll be the easy way. If not, we're gonna put another plate that would go on the other side of that ROPS and run bolts through it and nut and tighten that stuff up. And that will be what will hold it up. So that's still kind of just in the process right now. But that's kind of what's happening at the moment. You can see I have changed. There's my old tractor seat that I had already engineered. You can tell I made it my own. And it actually is really comfortable for an old factory seat. And it does still have the, what do you call it, the suspension. So it worked okay, but it's just getting rough and getting pretty bad. So I'll show you what I put on it instead on my big tractor. So on old Bessie here, I put this nice Vevor seat on. I want to say it's like 280 bucks. My gosh, y'all, that is so comfortable. It's been so long since I had good padding and a spring that worked well. So now when I'm riding around in this baby, mowing everything in the county, oh, that hurt it. See, I'm set back comfortable here, and got my nice little cup holder. That's another DIY thing. John Deere's here is so shallow. If you set a 32 ounce or 44 ounce fountain drink in that baby, it's gonna fall over immediately. It never fails, every time. So I made this little board with the hole the right size, and I took a fountain drink cup and I sprayed it with WD-40 around the outside of it, and then I came in here and I filled this all in with foam with that cup and WD-40 in there. When I got ready to pull it out, I had the perfect shape of my cup and it didn't stick. So this thing's been wonderful. I like that. Once upon a time, there was a cover back here and it covered up this here. See, I got a little compartment back there with a couple of goodies and my fuse box and stuff. But what happened is this old plasticky stuff cracked. This thing's 22 or 23 years old, this tractor. It broke off, and so I got my buddy to put me a little piece of metal right there, and that keeps the water out and makes me happy. Because this thing has had a battery run down before from water getting in there and these lights blinking for all through the weekend or however long till somebody notices it. But I have ordered 3 new SCVs for this. These have been leaking so long, and I've replaced the O-rings several times that I'm ready for a fresh start. So hopefully when this season begins, this baby right here is going to clear the way for me. So that's kind of what's going on right now, at least since the last time I saw y'all. I just almost don't want to get out of the seat, man. It's so nice. So let's look beside me. Now, this guy right here, the loader attachment on it, it is a 400X loader. Okay, you can see it right there. That thing is a detachable job there. You can take it off easily. It's not mounted on permanently or anything. But I have done the same thing to this guy, this John Deere 4520 with the 400X. If you come and look here, you can see the gap in between this loader arm and the body of the tractor here, okay? And it's much tighter over on this side. I did something here, trying to use the loader, getting aggressive with it, trying to dig a pit, and it hung real tight over here on this side, and it bowed this guy out. And I have done some repairs, and it is much better. I can use it right now, and it's level. The problem is when I lift up anything heavy, that bow starts coming back out. It really leans over this way, so I don't have it just right yet. I need to take the time to fix that. Now, this, I had exactly the same thing happen. Some years back, I had a prisoner from the local jail working for me, and he caught a stump. He left his bucket down low while he was mowing, and a stump was hiding in the tall grass, and he tore this thing. It was broke almost in half right there. And so I told him what I wanted, and he cleaned it up and he welded it back the best he could, but it had never been right since then. And then I was digging a pit, and the same thing happened on this guy. It bowed it. So if I raise this up off of the ground, my loader's always sitting at a little funny angle. You can tell when I'm driving down the road, it looks real silly. So both of my loader attachments, both of them, need some work. And until I have a little bit more time, I can't get to that just yet. So in the meantime, my new tractor that I just got came with this little Frontier and a quick hitch on it, which is nice. And that one we didn't even have to build. But this is some junk material right here. The gearbox and stuff is okay, and this thing works fine, but it is just the thinnest little plate you could imagine. And so I have had to bow a bunch out of it. And this thing, this little chain guard here that keeps rocks and stuff from coming out of there and killing people, it was so curled up and screwed up, and we took it off there and beat it flat, and I put new chain, because there was hardly any chain in there. There was about 5 lengths of chain all the way across that thing. So we're going to give it its run shortly as well. But I put it on this guy because this guy, I have 2 serious problems happening here. First thing is my clutch. This clutch on this thing is going out, and I don't know if you know anything about tractors, but when a clutch goes out on it, it's not like your pickup at the house where you just drop the transmission and get in there to it. This guy right here has got to be broken half, so this one will have to go to the shop for that, because I'm not set up for all that. So there's barely any clutch left in it. That's coming really shortly here. So that's my big issue there. And the other thing is I've got leaks. Now I've got some new O-rings in, and I've got to fix one of these. I think it's, yeah, this one right here. This guy right here is leaking. You can see it. And it's worse when it's running, and you can tell underneath. All tractors have a little bit of leaks, okay, so don't get me wrong. But this one, I think when they address my other issues with my clutch, maybe some of that stuff will stop, or at least while they're under there, they'll see it. I might throw it in there when the day comes and they let me get that fixed, to go ahead and check everything under there and see if they can stop that leak. I got little stuff, and I've tried to tighten what I could tighten out here and see what's going on, but there's more than meets the eye. All right, so we did make it through this cold weather that came through here. I've locked down all my bathrooms over at the park, and I still haven't opened them. It's been a week, and I'm sure some people are grumbling at me, but I know when I turn it on, because of the temperature it got, that even with it locked down, the buildings are not insulated, that I'm gonna have to repair a lot of stuff. So there's that too. But the last thing I wanted to show you guys is I hired another hand. He's been busy painting for me. I got him to redo our old Kawasaki Mule, at least the paint job on it here. So now all my equipment's pretty well matching. I'm not gonna mess with this because this belongs to the airport, and we're just using it temporarily. Mine looked just like this one, except for it was red, okay? And the red was wore down to a kind of a pale magenta. It was so old and wore out. But these two are close to the same age. This one's quite a bit older. It's a couple of years older. And this one's, it's been around a long time too. So all my equipment's really old, but it's looking pretty nice. So hopefully I've gotten everything into some kind of shape now. Anywho, I'm gonna get back to get in here and building this dadgum roof here. And I will see you guys next time when I've got something worth reporting back. See y'all then.